My name is James Williams Jr., and this is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. In an hour, it will be June the 5th. So I wanted to do this while I was still conscious. So I want to talk to you guys about acting. I want to talk to you about a career that does not exist, mine. I want to talk to you guys about things that you might want to learn about or touch on if you're trying to go into this business. Because this business, honest to God, is a cutthroat business. And location is everything. I can't afford a trip to California. If I could, I would have been there years ago. I can't afford a trip to New York. If I could, I would have been there years ago. But just because you go to these places doesn't mean that you can act. And just because you think you can act doesn't mean that you can act. Acting is not an easy task. And there's more to acting than getting your lines right and saying things and making people believe that you know what you're saying. Okay? Let me let my hair down for this one. I'm sure you guys wanted to know why the hell I did that. Well, it's not because my headband's too tight. And I'm about to go outside in the rain and walk this dog that doesn't belong to me. And so, yeah, I'm bringing back the mullet. Go ahead. Say something. So, as an actor, you have to be able to change on a dime. As a character actor, you will play many different people, so you'll have to know that you'll have to have many different looks. So, there goes the mullet. And now I'm Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. All I need is some purple hair dye and I'm good to go. And now I'm that zombie killing Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. Okay, now I'm going back to Trunks. Anyway, as I said, that's just pure an example of you have to be able to transform yourself to play roles. And you may take roles that you would not prefer to take. But I'm going to tell you now, as an actor, sometimes you have to yield to what you believe in because we call that working. Okay? Now, granted, it's not the easiest thing in the world. Acting is probably the hardest job in the universe to get. So let me explain this. When you go to these casting calls, you could get blessed and be on this list of what they're looking for. And if that's the case, run with it for as long as you can, because as easy as you are to get in, it's much easier to get out. You don't want to be the center of controversy. Like in more recent events, you don't want to be like Bill Cosby and have things come back to bite you in the ass 20, 30, 50 years later for shit that, you probably really shouldn't have done in the first damn place, but you've done it. So now it's biting you in the ass. So here's a tip. Be professional and do your damn job. Now, granted, if you've seen any of my films, I have blooper reels at the end, and just like Jackie Chan and everybody else who don't want to pretend like they're perfect, they show them to you because it lets you know that they do make mistakes. And you're not going to get your lines every time. And if it's not you, it's going to be someone else that's a coworker that's going to fuck up your lines. Way to go, Josh. Anyway, that's my shout out. Josh has been one of my working buddies and actors and friends since I started this thing back in 2001 or 2009. So I've been working at acting for damn near 20 years. You know how many acting roles I got? One. One role as Peter Fawcett. I got good reviews, and they didn't ask me to come back. I would have went back, as long as I didn't have to cut my hair. Every other role I've had has been my own stuff because no one would give me a chance. So you have to be prepared for this because you will face a lot of rejection, and I just don't have the it factor that they're looking for. I have accepted that, plus I went into the army, I have a hip replacement, so it's limited my kung fu skills immensely. So now I have to be able to act somewhat, to pull anything off. So as an actor, you have to understand it. This is not a fair game. They'll always want someone who's younger looking or someone who looks more ethnic than you. So here's my problem. They don't know what the fuck my ethnicity is. So let me spell it out for you. M-I-X-E-D. Mixed. I can fit into the black world, but I'm not changing my hair for you because my hair is naturally curly. I just have enough grease in Royal Crown hairdressing to keep it straight. See the tips, they're curling at the end? Okay, so that should let you know, oh yeah, this shit's hair. It's curly, it's real, it's mine. So my father was mixed and my mother was mixed, so this is what you get. Now, I've been through a lot in life, and getting into acting has been something that has eluded me from day one. Why did I even try to become an actor? It's the first thing I ask myself every day. Because no matter how many times I've tried, I have failed. And I mean, I have failed graciously. I have failed at every turn. I have failed at every casting list. I even shaved my hair when they made one movie here called Major Pain. The casting director or whoever the hell he was made me go shave all my curls off. And when I got back from the barbershop, wouldn't give me the job. Maybe it was because my egg head was kind of shaped funky, or maybe it was because while I was going to get my hair cut, they found enough people and said, fuck you, James, you're not going to do it. And probably somewhere in my conceited mind they were thinking, well, we really didn't know what he was anyway, so we just made him go shave his head just to get him the fuck away from here. And that very well could be the truth. But since they never came back, I don't know. But I can tell you they filmed it at Miller School, which we've had more than one movie filmed there, because we had Toy Soldiers filmed there with Louis Gossett Jr. Okay. Did I try to go out for that then? No, I didn't, because honestly, to God, I wanted to be a cop because it was the closest thing to being a superhero. When my stepmother, my dad's late fiance before he passed, she's the one that kind of inspired me at 23 to look into it. And looking into it wasn't that bad, but I never thought that I would get anywhere. And unfortunately, it looks like I may be right. Because, you can only go so far in this business. And in this business, if you're not working, you're not going to be working. Simple as that. So I started making independent films because it's the only way I can make movies for people like me. The problem is this. The here and now, the YouTube and trying to get your own media stuff open is a big old clusterfuck if you don't have the resources that you need. I don't have the resources that I need. I have a crew that's more than willing to make movies. However, you have to be more than willing to make the sacrifices. And most of them, for the most part, have made those sacrifices, have worked. Now they're all doing their own thing, and we're all working our way around to getting what we want, I guess, out of this thing. Sorry, I have an OCD problem. That clasp has to stay behind the back of my neck. Anyway, the whole thing is, acting, no one ever said it would be easy. No one ever said it would be fair. And to make independent films is basically you're stepping out on your own because you're not getting the shot that you need. So that made me break down to Hollywood East. There's a movie studio here in Virginia. Hollywood East was the promise given when they built it, when they announced it, and they're doing absolutely fucking nothing. I'm not going to say their names, because if you're in Virginia, you know who they are. And if you're like me and you've tried and tried and tried and can't get their fucking attention, there you go. So how can you begin a career if a place that makes movies won't make movies? So I'm saying like this, if I had my own studio, if I had my own revenue, if I had my own payroll, I could pay actors and bank and make movies, and my own production where I can ship shit off to Showtime or Cinemax or HBO or somebody who's willing to give me a motherfucking chance, it'd be done now. I'd be rolling in money. Because every day, I'd be making a movie. I wouldn't give a damn what kind of movie it is. No porn, but I would be making a movie. It can have strong sexual manners and all that other crap. But I'm going to need ID because this is Virginia. And I don't really want to leave Virginia. There's great locations to film here in Virginia. The problem is the people at the top don't want the people who want to do this in the fucking front door. So I sent them a Kung Fu movie. My first Kung Fu movie. It was called Fallen Dragons. I got rejected by Sundance, and they have a copy of my movie somewhere in Petersburg, and they told me that they don't make Kung Fu movies. Yet, over the last 15 to 20 years, they have produced like 7 or 8 Kung Fu movies, and that includes Expendables 1, 2, and 3. And see, I wouldn't have known this if I didn't have this one little bit of a habit. I can read, and I stay behind for the credits. But you can't make a movie, but you can produce movies. You can get them to videos. So what the fuck is your issue with me again? You don't do kung fu movies, but yet you produced three of the biggest kung fu movies with some of the biggest stars. May I mind you who they are for The Expendables? For those who've never seen the movie, you have Arnold Schwarzenegger. You had Bruce Willis. And you had Sylvester Stallone. Oh, did I mention you had Dolph Lundgren? And Jet Li? And some UFC fighters? And then Terry Crews? Oh, I think I left off Stone Cold Steve Austin. He died in the first movie, in case you guys didn't see it. That's a spoiler. And then the next movie, who did you guys have? You put in fucking Chuck Norris. And Van Damme. Van Damme. The wife-beating Van Damme. Wow. But a little guy like me, who you have no idea what my ethnicity is, who wants to make kung fu movies for a living so he can teach kung fu for free. You slam the door in my face, and you tell me we don't make kung fu movies. You would think that as a movie maker, it wouldn't matter if the fucking movie was anything, including porn, that you would make a movie because your job is to make movies so actors can work and so you can earn money by paying actors and paying people who will come and see these actors to make movies. Is this making sense to you guys, or is this like a dichotomy or a clusterfuck that no one seems to understand? I want to make movies so I can teach kung fu for free. I'm not making movies for the money. I want to make movies because they make me happy. I want to teach kung fu for free because it makes me happy. I don't want to die old man that didn't get to accomplish his dreams because people wouldn't open the door and let me have them. So I had to go on my own with Kung Fu Havoc 1 and 2 because no one would give me a fucking chance. And now that the military has crippled me and the doctors are saying there's no chance in hell that I may ever do kung fu again, and no one except for retired wrestlers and martial artists knows how this feels. Alright? Because when you can't do what you want to do, or do what you do best, or do what you love to make a living with, you're stuck. And why are you stuck? Because everyone's laughing at you. Like they said in the movie Carrie, they're all gonna laugh at you. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. They're all gonna laugh at you. Let me say it again, in case you guys didn't understand it in my little Carrie's mom voice. They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. Okay, so they're all laughing at me. And yes, I can change my voice at the drop of a hat. So there are other acting ventures that I can take and that I could do if someone would open the fucking door and let me in. The problem is, people who want to make movies on the East Coast don't get this opportunity because we are kind of poor. We kind of don't have the means of going to studios in New York or North Carolina, especially if we can't have a GPS because we're too poor to afford one to travel down there. And let's not forget, when you're struggling as an artist, you still have to eat. You still have to pay bills. You still have to make money to do this. Acting is a full-time commitment. You know, I'm working a down-end job. I'm not getting paid, if anything, from the Army. And I'm injured. And my kung fu dreams are pretty much dashed. And yet, studios in Virginia refuse to make movies. But yet, Hollywood East, the promise that we're going to make movies on the East Coast so the actors don't have to pack ship and jump all the way across the coast to starve even more and bust their ass and get nothing because we're still serving up burgers and fries because we can't get arrested getting a job as an actor because no one wants to hire us because we don't look like the people that you're looking for on the motherfucking list. Why? Oh, I can explain that. That's real easy. See, there are not a lot of Native American writers. There are not a lot of black writers. I mean, we have Tyler Perry, but, you know, I can't afford to move down to Atlanta if I don't have any money. He's not coming up to Virginia, knocking on my door and saying, hey, son, would you like to have a job? No, none of them. The studio right here could have supported me for 10 years if they would have just read my scripts and let me have a fucking job. I have scripts. I don't have to be in the fucking movie. But at least let me be the casting director so we can get someone who kind of looks like me. Because there are a lot of people out here that are multicultural that could fill this role. We could change the script a little bit and make the star a female. A female lead in some of the shit I wrote would actually sell better than the male lead. But no. Because Hollywood East is the Hollywood finger up your ass with a red hot poker and hot sauce and some pepper. You know, just shove that thing up in there, you know, just grind it a little bit, you know, Make me feel it? Well, I'll tell you what. I am feeling it. Every fucking day I'm feeling it. Why? Because how can you make a promise to actors on the East Coast and then not deliver? Not every actor can afford to travel to New York. Not every actor. Damn! This is part one.